What's up, guys? It's your favorite mystic, TheSirenSayz, and welcome back to another House of the Dragon video. I am in low spirits because you know why. We all just saw this episode. If you're watching this, hopefully you've seen it. I'm not sure why you'd be watching this episode if you didn't see it, unless you just like hearing me talk. Well, in that case, hi. Thank you for being here. This is just really annoying. Like, oof. I just feel like I can't even. This episode really just everybody was just doing the most. Everybody that I liked was also doing the most in a way that I can't defend. I've said before in videos that I will make that I don't really like the hypocrisy of people trying to justify their biases. Like, you can like someone, but you have to like someone for all that they are. You can't just throw away the pieces that you don't like, you know? And I have to stand in that. If I said that, I have to stand in that. And unfortunately, that means standing in the fact that Daemon and Aegon, I did not enjoy them this episode. I enjoyed seeing them, but I don't agree with what they did. I understand where Aemond was coming from. Not in a I get it sort of way, but in a he's deranged, so I can see why he would do that. Whereas with Daemon, I'm just like, huh? Let's just get into character by character for now. I'm gonna bring him up later, but just to say, R.I.P. the real one, Viserys. He didn't want this, but he knew it was his duty and he was willing to work for it. My God, let's just get into Rhaenys. Really respected her this episode. The way she got her trifling ass husband to just do what he needed to do. Because let's be honest, right? He was all for whatever Viserys was for, as long as Daemon was with it. And now all of a sudden, he like, I don't trust Rhaenyra, and she been messing stuff up for the longest, and like, sir, nobody believes you. Nobody believes that you care. Nobody believes this is important to you. Nobody believes that you actually give a damn about what's happening here. So let it go. Thank you, sir. When he came there and essentially bent the knee, said, "We here for you. We gon' stick beside you." I was like, yeah, you better. You better stick beside Rhaenyra. Okay, sir? Because nobody cares. I thought you were dead. I didn't give a damn. So if you gonna be here, you might as well be useful. Okay? Alright. So, I am just so intrigued by Rhaenys. I'm loving her. I liked her from the beginning, to be honest. I really enjoy what she does. She makes other people useful. I love characters like that. So, you know what? The most honorable Rhaenys Velaryon. Okay? Most honorable. Alright? This is literally, she's literally my favorite. Okay? I love her. She's the best in that family. We love to see it. And I will respect her always. Okay? Okay. Now, other people who need respect. Baela and Rhaena. Why the hell is there a Rhaenys, a Rhaenyra, and a Rhaena? Come on now. And you expect us to remember that? The only reason I'm remembering it is because it's so ridiculous. It's like in your face. Hopefully that's what the point was. Oh, I guess I can lighten my spirit a little bit. It's weird that it was cute, but they were just like, oh my God, when they walked in with Corlys, they were like, oh my God, let's just sit beside our hubbies to be. and they just rolled up to them and looked at them and smiled and stuff. And I was just like, "Aw, I guess." I'm sorry. The pure blood thing is just really it takes some getting used to, I'll say, and I haven't gotten used to it yet. But yeah, that was kind of cute. I'll admit it. Let's get into Corlys. Oh, protect Bela at all cost. Oh, so sorry, Rhaenyra, that Luce is gone, especially when it seemed like the only part of this that he was enjoying in terms of being a royal was getting to marry you one day. So that's sad. It's really sad. You know, the way he was like, I'm already betrothed, you know. He seemed proud of it, you know, like, I got my wife, I'm happy with it. I'm not rolling the dice to get somebody I'm not gonna be happy with. I know I'm gonna be happy with Rhaenyra. Bye. So I'm sorry that you never got to have that chance with him. Jeez. Alright, Corlys. Ugh. I'm just over it. I'm glad he was helping, and I'm glad he's giving his little expertise in war to help her out. I'm happy for what Rhaenyra said. Rhaenys said about Rhaenyra that, you know, she's really being Viserys in the mind. She's not trying to just burn everything down. She's trying to think about this in the most peaceful way possible. And I thought that was really interesting. Like when Otto came, snake. When Otto came, and you know, he's only doing this because Alicent won't let him do what he really want to do. Alicent stuck her foot up his ass, put her heel in his neck, and said, "Do what I say." And so he's doing what she says. So he came to her with a message, you know, we want peace. We want you to bend the knee so we don't have to fight. So she's considering it because Alicent pulled the, we used to be best friends, now you turned into my enemy. So she's considering it heavily, which means that their last conversation means that they really did build some sort of a bridge for her to even be like, okay, yeah, I need to think about this because this is my friend. Let's get into Daemon. Daemon thinks that they planned this, that they killed him on purpose. He didn't just die when it was his time. I'm conflicted. I feel like they definitely could have sped his death up a bit, but I'm not sure because he was already so down bad. I wondered a long time ago, like, why doesn't somebody just kill this nigga? But what if they were killing him slowly? You know? I don't know. Daemon think there was foul play involved, and so he's just ready to fight. He's just ready to fight. He don't care what nobody say. He's ready to fight. And I don't really blame him for that, but Rhaenyra is trying to be diplomatic about it. She's not just trying to go out guns a-blazing. I think it's really interesting that they brought up with the dragons. And let's just talk about the dragons for a second. I'll say what they said about the dragons, and then I'll say what I think about dragons after. So they said that, you know, if it's all about the dragons and the dragons end up being a big thing, the entire place is going to burn down. Apparently they have like 13 dragons, trained, untrained, and wild, whereas the Greens, what they're calling them, the high towers in them, only have about 4. So they're outmatched dragon-wise, which means they could just fight with dragons, but that would just leave the entire place in ashes, and Rhaenyra doesn't want to be the Queen of Ash. You know, I guess Daenerys didn't think about that. Let me stop, because that's just going to bring up old wounds, but you know what I meant. As I was watching this, they focus on the dragons a lot. Oh my god. Even this... Oh my god. The scene where Lucerys and Avox or Varax or Arax was up in the sky after they flew out of the storm. All of that, the dragons, it was giving very much How to Train Your Dragon. I felt a lot of How to Train Your Dragon vibes in this episode. You know, even as Daemon was trying to tame some of the more wild dragons in the keep. That was very interesting. So this episode was giving very much Hiccup, Astrid, and Toothless. You know what I mean? So yeah. Let's jump to the characters. I liked Rhaenyra this episode. Those persons need to go sit down somewhere, go take a nap, because when they were like, let us help you, and then the baby, trigger warning, the baby is unalived, or the baby is still alive, stillborn, yeah. And nurse was acting like it was the most gruesome thing she ever seen. I'm like, I was rolling my eyes. Like, this is not, it's bloody, but it wasn't the most gruesome thing we have seen in this show. And they were acting like, I can't believe Rhaenyra did it. I know it's probably not what happened, but that's the way the scene was framed. And I was just annoyed because I'm like, relax. So they had a funeral for the baby, and that is where Eric, the twin Eric, came to give her a stone crown and pledge his allegiance to her and everything. So she decided to take up her royal accoutrements and everything. I really liked this episode. She really was giving boss babe energy. You know, the way she handled Otto. Said, you're no more the hand than Aegon is king, traitor. I'm sorry, it was a little funny. I know that the birth scene was like terrible, but when she kept saying the F word, it just sounded so unmedieval. You know, I feel like there must be a word for the F word in medieval times, but the way she used it is just like, yeah, this is taking me out of the show because it sounds so modern when she uses it. She uses it in modern context, you know? So yeah, I guess that was funny as well. Let's get into the other characters now, I guess. That's all that we can do. Oh, once again, I hate Otto. Yeah. Just have to say that. I say it in every episode. I have to make sure. Keep it coming. Okay. Okay. I'm glad that Alicent kinged him, sunned that nigga, and turned him a little bitch maid this episode. Okay. Because we know he don't like Daemon, so I'm glad he could show some restraint. Yeah, next character, Daemon. What was that, my nigga? Daemon Targaryen, what was that, my nigga? Why'd you choke her like that? Like, this is why I never really shipped them. I know some people did, and to be honest, y'all are weirdos. I can kind of understand shipping the cousins because they're further apart, less related. Whatever arguments y'all want to think about in the comments, that's a little less weird. But like y'all who are shipping Daemon and Rhaenyra, I never really got it. I got it for the show, but personally, I wasn't really shipping it because you can't really trust Daemon. I know I've said things in the past that made it seem like, oh, he really cares about Rhaenyra. But that's only because he's not completely evil. I didn't say he wasn't psychotic though. And this episode really brought it back that like he really isn't necessarily a good person. Like he's just a person. Alright? Really flawed mentally. Like the way he just choked her out because he was just so sick and tired of the Viserys shit. That nigga is dead. Why are you still bringing up his talking points? Essentially, is where he was coming from. Like, you know what needs to be done. Stop being weak like my brother. But I hated it. I was like, why are you choking her? Why are you choking her? And it just made me so happy that I didn't really ship them. Because first of all, if we're going to be technical, he suggestively made her want him over the years when she was a child. He groomed her. Groomed. He did that. If we're being honest. I didn't think about it that much because I was just shocked that they were even going to let that be a thing. But if we look into it, this relationship is really unhealthy. And him choking her out like that, it just brings into home how unhealthy the relationship was. Because the show tried to make it seem like at first it was sleazy, right? But after she got older, they tried to make it all romantic. Like, oh, finally they can really be together. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Hopefully he's taught her son some valuable lessons in fighting. And, you know, how to be that nigga, because he's that nigga on the battlefield. He is. But in terms of their actual love, I'm not really shipping it, okay? I hope Rhaenyra is happy, but, like, in another world, maybe it would have been cute, but not in this world. Sorry. No. Mm-mm. Daemon, you were wrong for that. And I hate that to say that, because Daemon is one of my favorite characters. But he was wrong for that. Him choking her out really just made me side-eye him. And I have to live in my truth, you know. I'm not going to be a hypocrite and just say I didn't see it or I didn't mind it just because he's my favorite character in the show. Now, he was wrong for that. And he will need to do better. Okay, Bebs? Do better. That wasn't cute. And I think he need to apologize for that as well. Because, bro, your brother just died. Have some respect. I know that's hard for you, but still. Bitch. Such a bitch-made move. You choking out women now? I thought he at least... Let me not say that, because the way he killed his wife, but like... God, he needs help and therapy and just... Whatever. Terrible moment. Let's get into Jace. He was a little rude to his brother, which... Bet you regret that now. To the person who was mad at me for being a little hard on him in the episode before. This is why. I saw this in him back then. A lot of people don't understand why I say certain things. I have a little bit of discernment. Meaning in real life and in TV shows, I can see things sometimes before they happen. So with Jace, I saw that there was a side of him that wasn't very agreeable with me, which is why I was harsh on him when he was claiming to want to mourn his dad. Okay? Sorry, I'm not saying claiming. He was trying to mourn his dad, but he was saying it at the wrong time. Being selfish. And I brought it up. And I made a joke out of it, of course, but I brought it up and somebody was like, oh, did you say that, dude? This is why. Do you see how he was manhandling his brother? For what? There wasn't even a lesson out of it, like, you know, like him walking up to the person who said he was being harsh and being like, he needs to toughen up. There was none of that. He was just harsh for harshness sake. Bro, the only reason I'm okay with him being like this is because we gonna need somebody to take care of Aemond, yeah. Names are too freaking similar. We gonna need somebody with a little bit of demon time energy to take care of Aemond. So, hopefully that's what this bad attitude that he's consistently had since he was a child means. So yeah, he's there. He's holding up with his wifey a little bit, Bela. And he's ready to try and get some allies for his mother. That's about it for now. I still like Jace, but yeah, you're not gonna come for me. Like, if I say something bad about a character, it's because it is something wrong. Just because you would validate it doesn't mean I have to. If I can call out my favorite characters for doing wrong, you can do that too. Thank you. You can do that too, Snitch. You can do that too. Bye. Anyways. Next. Oh my god. Aemond. So, shock of a lifetime. You see Vhagar there at the Baratheon household. And I'm just like, is that Aemond's dragon? Aemond is here? And you can see the fear falling into Luke's entire soul when he saw that dragon. And then you go into the courts, and there Aemond is in all of his villainous glory and his Captain Hook ass outfit. And I'm just like, yeah, this is not gonna end well. I didn't expect Jace to die, but I knew this was gonna be bad. Oh my god. So, tries to convince a Baratheon. Baratheons just ain't shit. Like, no matter the timeline, now or 100 years from now, just ain't shit niggas. Just, they do anything for clout, really, is what happened. Which is how they were able to take the throne. Upper shooter stick ass bitches, and they were able to be usurped. Do anything for clout. He relayed the message. King Baratheon thought that he was above reproach, like promises don't mean anything, so whatever. So he said, if you aren't even gonna give me anything, like a marriage proposal or nothing, like, why am I gonna back her? Because some arbitrary ass promise? No. So he said, nah. So Luke was like, alright, fine, I have to go. Aemond is like, let's do it right now. Give me your eye. And that's one of the first times in a while since he's been a kid. Because like, after he lost his eye, you saw him gain this level of calm that you haven't really seen him break out of unless you see him talking about wanting the throne and fighting his brother. But now again, you see him breaking out when he sees Luke. And it's almost like the trauma of losing his eye is coming back out. And he's like, I want your eye. Give me your eye. Bring it! Break the neck! Sorry. I've been watching Basement, guys. Don't mind me. So he's like, bring me the eye. Give it to me now. I'll go to my mom. And he takes off his eye patch. And he has like this gem in his eye. And I'm just like, Super villain energy, bro. I don't know why I'm laughing because this is very sad, but he decides to play hot potato, hanky-panky, whatever, by forcing Vhagar to chase after Arax and Lucerys. Lucerys goes low, tries to, fly away, but he's not letting him. So then he takes the high ground, shoots Vhagar in the face with some fire. Apparently, that makes Vhagar abandon her command. So, I didn't decide it at first, but now I do. Apparently, after she got hit in the face with the fire, Vhagar said, "I'm coming for blood now." And even though Aemond tried to stop her, she decided to go after Arax anyway and bit that nigga in half. Bit that nigga straight in half with Jace on the back. I was like, oh my, that was a jump scare, guys. That was a jump scare. Some people got jump scared by the last episode when the dragon, I didn't really get jump scared by that because they kind of framed it like something's gonna happen in here. But this one, because I was thinking about the How to Train Your Dragon thing when they flew. I was like, oh, that's so cute. Look at that. And then all of a sudden she came out the side. I was like, oh my god. I had to rewind it. Because I was just like, oh my god. Wow. And you know that it wasn't planned because after they're already dead, if he had planned it, he'd just be like, oh, nobody would know. But he looked like, damn. And what I said verbatim was, you see, Aemond, this is what happens when you play too much. This is what happens. Because he looked like a little boy who's like, damn, I'm going to be in trouble with mommy now. Like, Aemond, are you stupid? Why are you playing these games? Because I was confused, right? Because Aemond looked like, oh my god, I didn't want him to die. And I'm like, well, if you didn't want him to die, why were you playing games on Dragonback, bro? Why? Because I thought he wanted to kill him, right? But then you can see on his face that he obviously didn't mean for that to happen. So I'm like, why would you play games like that if you're not ready for the smoke? Well, it's going to be a war. From the way it looks, it looks like it's going to be a war now. Which I'm fine with that. I want to see bad Vitrinia. I've told you guys before, I'm ready to see bad Vitrinia. And if Lucerys' death is the catalyst for that, I'm here for it. I'm ready for a little talk about it. I'm ready for Jace to go head to head with Aemond and say, you killed my brother. I'm coming for that ass. I'm ready for all the fights. All the fight scenes. And I'm ready for them to like put Larys in like a bunker to protect him. Yeah. I'm ready for Rhaenyra to go up and just bitch slap Alicent. See, they're gonna have the cat fight they needed to have when they were like 4 and 10, 14. And I'm ready for all the fights. I'm ready for all the smoke. This episode was so saddening. It's just so maddening. And I'm so disappointed in Aemond and Daemon. And R.I.P. to the real nigga Luke. He just didn't want to fail. He felt like he was failing his brother. He didn't want to fail his mother. He didn't want to fail Driftmark. But here we are. My God. This one is going to come out on Monday, guys. I will not leave y'all hanging the day before. The latest still come is on Tuesday, and that is if on Monday. There are very extenuating circumstances. But thank you so much for your patience, guys. And thank you for the loads of views I've been getting on these videos lately. I really love that most of these videos now, as I'm dropping them, are getting like over 150 views per episode. Like, we love to see it. We do. And we like this show now. As I said before, I have been spoiled with some of the endings. So I'm starting to see the catalyst for things that I thought... I haven't done any research on the show, so I don't know how many episodes per season like other people do. So I'm starting to see that the show really is wrapping up, because some of these deaths I did know about, but I didn't know about them in this way. So I'm like, oh, the show's wrapping up because niggas are starting to really perish. It could have been Khaleesi, but whatever. And unfortunately, because I know that this is following a set story, certain people, when they die, they're just not coming back. Kind of annoyed that Lucerys is dead, but Laenor is alive. Like, what use was he in the end? Especially if Khaleesi and Rhaenys are still unsure of his whereabouts and thinks he's dead. Like, he was just useless to the very end. Like, she really should have just killed him, to be honest. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. You'll see me next week Sunday for another video of House of the Dragon. Talking about it has made me feel a little better, but I will be mourning because that death was gruesome as hell and came out of nowhere. R.I.P. the real nigga Viserys. You will be missed, my nigga. And R.I.P. Rhaenyra's feelings, because we know they be hurting right now. Damn. Anyways, see you in the next episode. Goodbye, my sires. Bye, Simmies. Sue.